We are a two-phase system. We have a space plane that is carried underneath an aircraft in just the same way that the Bell X-1 or the X-15 or Spaceship One did. Airplane will carry you up to about 50,000 feet, release you. You'll free fall for a few seconds to get clear of the mothership, light up that rocket engine. It fires for somewhere on the order of a minute, kicks you up to about 4 times the speed of sound, and gives you enough impulse to crest out above the Kármán line and into outer space. You'll have somewhere on the order of 4 or 5 minutes with your seatbelt off to float around, get back into your seat safely. We do this special maneuver called feathering, which I'm happy to answer questions about, but in the interest of time, I'll sort of skip over. And then you come back to a landing at the same runway that you took off from, again, about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours after wheels up. So we're in the flight test program now. It's going extremely well. When I say we, all credit goes to the hardworking team at Scaled Composites, our prime contractors, who are the ones who built it and who have been, for the most part, flying it to date. It's only recently that Virgin Galactic's own pilots have started flying this vehicle. I think these are the latest numbers. So over 100 flights on the mothership. The mothership is essentially ready to go. We built the spaceship second, and obviously she has a more complex task, so she's still undergoing her test flight program, but it is going extremely well. The next major milestone for us is when we integrate the full system, and we have the rocket motor, which we've tested on the ground successfully, and the space plane, which we've tested in its subsonic glider mode successfully, and the mothership, put all the pieces together, have our first powered flight. That is, we don't put dates on things publicly, but that is so close that we can taste it. And then we very quickly moved from there to flying into space without paying passengers on back, but with test passengers and test pilots on board. God, do I want to be a test passenger. Man, I can't wait. And then it's not too long from there to commercial service. Thanks to the excellent team that George runs over at FAA, we have received our experimental permit, which allows us to do those rocket-powered flights, and I think we're well on the path to having the launch licenses that we require for commercial service in hand by the time that we are all ready to go. You also saw some photographs of this facility already. This is the Virgin Galactic Gateway to Space in New Mexico, southern New Mexico. The closest town of any real size is Las Cruces. I think this is an interesting example, particularly for an audience of economists, because the state of New Mexico has pumped, I think, $209 million into this facility. Now, that comes about 150 of that is state funds. About the rest of it was raised by a voluntarily imposed gross receipts tax. The requirement of the state funding coming through was that I think the 3 counties surrounding the spaceport had to vote this upon themselves, and they did. Now, the funding model for this airport, for this spaceport, is just like any airport. They lease it to us. We pay fees. We pay hangar fees. We pay office fees. We pay use fees. But also, I think the people of New Mexico are really excited about the fact that we are bringing a lot of attention and a lot of high net and ultra high net worth individuals to a part of the world that doesn't often see high net worth individuals. We had an event, the one George mentioned earlier, where we dedicated this building. I think there were 10 Aston Martins cruising around the streets of a town of about 2,000 people. It doesn't happen all that often. And these people are coming and they want to stay for a week, and they're bringing a lot of people, and they want a nice restaurant and a nice hotel. And so all of those are part of the space economy now. They've never been part of the space economy.